Hello and welcome to House of Misteria. Today's video will be my deck profile on my Ninja Katsu the Wanderer deck build. But first, I wanted to give a shout out to Top Deck TCG. They are a website that has blitz decks for sale. So if you're new to Flesh and Blood and you want to give it a go, I suggest you go to topdecktcg.com and you get yourself a couple of blitz decks. They also sell singles for Welcome to Wraith, Alpha, and Unlimited, as well as Arcane Rising First Edition and Unlimited. And don't forget to use code House of Misteria at checkout to get 10% off your entire order. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the deck profile. We are using Katsu the Wanderer, and the weapons are going to be 2 Harmonized Kodachis, the Mask of Momentum as the equipment, Fiendal's Spring Tunic, Breaking Scales, and for the leg piece, we're using Snapdragon Scalers and as a sideboard, Nullrune Boots. The Nullrune Boots are here because in my local scene, every now and then we see some Viserai Runeblood players, and it's been more than one time where I've been caught without a Nullrune or Arcane Barrier equipment, and I've unfortunately lost my matches against Runeblood because I could not block any of their arcane damage. So for now, I'm running Nullrune Boots as my side equipment. It is also worth noting that this deck is an 80 card deck with the equipment and weapons included. So starting off with the actual cards in the deck, we've got Flick Flag. We have 6. We have 3 red and 3 yellow Flick Flag. We have 3 red Sink Below and 3 yellow Sink Below. We have 3 red Unmovable, 3 yellow Unmovable, 3 Springboard Somersault, 3 red Sigil of Solace, 2 Remembrances to get back our heavy hitters, 2 Tome of Fiendal, 3 Salve the Wounds. This card is especially good in this deck build because it's meant to play the long game. It is a very defensive build, as you saw with all the defense reactions we have in the deck, and it gets to a point where they will just allow the Kodachis to go through. So on a turn when they decide to let both Kodachi hit, you can play Salve the Wound for free and it will deal 4 damage, or it will attack for 4. Not to mention that it is a 0, pitches for 2, and it's a 3 block. 2 Command and Conquers. I only owned 2, so I decided to run 2. If I had a third one, I would most definitely play a third one. 3 Enlightened Strikes. We have 3 red Torrent of Tempos. The fact that it costs 1, blocks for 3, and can hit for 5 with a potential go again, I think is really good in this deck. Then we also have 3 red Razor Reflex. Again, Torrent of Tempo is a great target for it, as well as Enlightened Strike. 3 blue Fluster Fists. This being a defensive deck, I wanted to focus on getting as many 3 blocks as possible. Fluster Fist is one of them. Costs 0, so it always allows for the Kodachi go again. Pitches for 3, and it blocks for 3. Red Fluster Fists, because it hits for 4. 3 blue Soulbeat Strikes. Potential go again. Hits for 2, which is still a decent number. Blocks for 3. 2 currently. Red Soulbeat Strikes. Hits for 4. Costs 0. Blocks for 3. 2 Lunging Press. Now, Lunging Press is a card that I recently added to the deck simply because When I am to attack with Command and Conquer, usually if they have something in Arsenal, they'll just drop 2 cards, block for 6, no biggie. But you throw a Lunging Press in there, a lot of the times they won't see it coming, and once they know that you run Lunging Press into a Command and Conquer combo, they're gonna start blocking for 3 with 3 cards, which is a lot of value in my opinion, because you never know when you're gonna be threatened with this. If you have a card in Arsenal and you play a Command and Conquer, they're gonna have to try to guess if you have a Lunging Press in the arsenal or in hand, and you're putting them in a very difficult spot because they have to guess whether or not they want to sacrifice their arsenal. 1 blue head jab. The reason for this is because we do run the head jab combo at 1-offs, but we do run it. And it's also a pitch for 3, so that's really good. 2 Find Center. 2 Lord of Wind. 2 Blue Crane Dance. 3 Blue Whelming Gust Waves. 2 Blue Rushing River. 2 Time Snap Potions. Now the potions are here to be able to do some very strong combos, such as going Inline Strike into another Inline Strike, or E-Strike into Command and Conquer, or even being able to pull off some combos, because as you can see, not every single combo has its starter piece in here. So Time Snap Potion allows us to be able to do that. For example, we don't have Surging Strike, but with Time Snap Potion, we can always play Whelming Gust Wave into a Mugenshi Release, which we run a 1-off, into Lord of Wind. So with that segue, we have 1 Mugenshi Release for the 4 damage, blocks for 3, costs 1, or potential 5 damage with searching for Lord of Wind. We have 1 Open the Center, 1 Pounding Gale, and 1 Flying Kick. The Flying Kick is here because of the threat of 7 damage, blocks for 3. Yes, it costs 2, but late game, hitting for 7 is a very big threat. And that is the reason why we run 2 Remembrances, because we want to try to use Enlightened Strike, Flying Kick, Command and Conquer, as well as any other cards that hit for 5 or higher, like Open the Center and Pounding Gale. We want to be able to use them as much as possible, and also not have to worry if we have to block with them early game. There are times when I will end up having to block with an Line Strike or a Command and Conquer, and my opponent feels a little bit relieved by me doing that, but if I'm able to Remembrance them back late in the game when I know that I'm going to have a higher chance of drawing them back up, it definitely puts a lot of pressure on my opponent, because as they are running out of options, I'm just getting started. So that is my deck profile for the Katsu the Wanderer deck build. Some advice on it would be that the defense reactions are definitely the cards that I look at whenever I'm cutting down the deck to 60 cards. For example, against Ninja, I will cut out the Unmovables because that's just too much defense against their single attacks. Then against builds that hit usually just once, I'll probably take out the Flick Flags. Against Warrior though, that's where I go defense heavy, because I have a fear of Warrior and what they can do. So I always try to go as defensive as possible. And thankfully with this build, if I focus on running all of my defense cards and just running all of the heavy hitters, I'm able to usually have at least one defense reaction in Arsenal per turn against Warrior, which is a really great advantage in my opinion. Thank you again for watching this video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. for more videos, and I would like to hear your thoughts on this. This is Jesus from House of Misteria.